here at ladbible.com is a story by Poppy Bilderbeck entitled Bargain Hunt Viewers Horrified at Haunted Doll with Dead Man's Eyes and Hair. And Poppy begins, a vintage doll containing a dead man's glass eyes and his hair has spooked bargain hunt viewers. Prepare for images of George's face to infiltrate your nightmare tonight. If you're the sort of person who loves nothing more than sitting down to watch a good old horror movie, then I will never understand you. But you've definitely come to the right place. If you enjoy getting scared S-less and not being able to sleep at night, then an unlikely program has your back. BBC One's Bargain Hunt. Channeling Annabelle or Child's Play. Bargain Hunt really turned up the chill factor in one of its recent episodes, when a haunted doll named George was introduced. The doll was brought in by Nottingham Haunted Museum's Marie Wesson. She explained, he came to us from Texas, and back in the day they would make things like George in memory of past loved ones. The difference with George is the past loved one. George now has his glass eye and his hair. And the spookiness doesn't stop there. Wesson went on to explain George was given to the museum because the family was experiencing a lot of paranormal things with him, with George the doll. The museum employee continued. They would get headaches and their eyes would start hurting. So they took him to a few mediums. And apparently George wants his eyes and hair back. He can't rest without them. Prepare to go rifling through all your cupboards and check out any old toys you have from childhood before attempting to go to sleep at night. The spooky story was so spine-chilling, even bargain hunt expert Charlie Ross could not contain his fear. Pulling a face, Ross commented, I can feel a bit of a headache coming on. Viewers of the BBC One show had a similar response, taking to social media in concern over the eerie George the doll. One Twitter user said, that doll would have stayed in Texas. I can't look at the TV. I hate dolls. Another added, see those haunted dolls on Bargain Hunt BBC today? George had the hair and eyes of a dead person, as they won't rest until they get their hair and eyes back. A third wrote, today's Bargain Hunt of BBC One, Sweet Mother of Jesus, #scary dolls. However, another user who was clearly a fan of horror films said, Bargain Hunt did a mini-segment about antique vampire hunting kits and haunted dolls. This is the TV content for which I'm here. And we also have a story here at thenetline.com, written by Kate Marin, entitled Peggy the Doll Story. She haunts people who look at her photos and videos. On the face of it, begins Ms. Marin. Peggy the doll looks like any other doll with glassy eyes and a cute bob. However, Peggy is more than just your ordinary doll. She is a paranormal wonder that wreaks all sort of havoc on people who watch her videos, stare at her, or stay close to her. Paranormal investigator Jane Harris claims that more than 80 people reported, among other things, chest pains, headaches, nausea, anxiety, and flashes of mental institutions after seeing photos and videos of Peggy. One person alleged that Peggy had given her a heart attack. Peggy came to international prominence after a woman called Jane Harris requesting her to take Peggy away. The woman claimed to have lost all peace and luck after buying Peggy at a car boot sale. The woman had requested help from her parent. The woman had requested help from a priest. But try as they might, the priest could not exorcise Peggy. The unlucky woman tried to move Peggy to other rooms, but unusual events at her house kept happening. The final straw was a mysterious illness, coupled with hallucinations. Jane Harris told the Daily Mail, when she recovered, she saw no other option but to get rid of the doll, as she was convinced it was at the center of all that was happening. Jane Harris agreed to take the doll, to conduct an investigation. And 4 days into her stay with Peggy, she started to experience Peggy's wrath. It was a bit of a mystery illness, Jane told Lad Bible. I just felt completely drained and completely fatigued. It got to the point, after about 2 weeks, where I actually couldn't get out of bed. After fellow paranormal investigator Hazel removed the doll, Jane's health improved. Things went crazy after Jane posted photos and videos of Peggy on Facebook. The next day, she had over 80 messages from people blaming Peggy for their misfortunes. A medium also called Jane, claiming that Peggy was restless, frustrated, and was persecuted in life. Experts from Jane's social media group, Haunted Dolls, concluded that Peggy is possessed by the spirit of a woman born in the mid-1940s, who died due to a respiratory illness like asthma. She is also reportedly Jewish and has ties to the Holocaust. Peggy also strongly dislikes clowns and can affect people's dreams, Harris told the Daily Mail. Quote, we've been told she can affect people's dreams. She recently visited a lady in her dreams, warning her about one of her cats. The next morning, the lady found her cat very ill, and he died that day. Peggy is a responsive doll who listened to Jane's requests to stop tormenting strangers. However, she fought any attempt by Harris to try to figure her out. Harris talked about her investigative approach. Quote, in order to do the work I do, I have to approach each case as a skeptic and look for normal explanations. If it were 1 or 2 occasions where things were happening, I could do that. But with Peggy, I just know there's something more. He told the publication that she'd had productive sessions with Peggy. But Peggy's behavior afterwards suggested she didn't want Harris to publicize their conversations. Jane said that her notebook disappeared after one such conversation. She explained, my husband had to use a ladder to get it back. Many people who saw the picture felt she did not want me to tell people the information I had gained. Another medium named Lindy seemingly made Peggy upset by sharing information about the doll on Facebook. She invited Peggy's ire and had to apologize to calm Peggy down and resume a normal life, said Lindy. Quote, my dog started barking, and my face became very hot and flushed. I felt like I wasn't alone. I ended up apologizing to Peggy, as I felt maybe she disapproved of us chatting about her. And then my symptoms stopped.